So what are we pretending we're fine about today?
Nothing. Not on this couch. Welcome to On the Couch with Clear Corner.
Sanbonani, welcome to On the Couch, where every story deserves a seat on the seat. Aibo,
Every story
deserves a seat on the couch.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, we're still trying to get the tagline. It is new. Welcome to episode 10. Damn, we should celebrate.
Yeah.
After that's a milestone. Yeah, that's a milestone. I am your host, AYANDA MABASO, and
I'm your co-host, LUNGILE MNISI.
Yeah. Okay, today I'm not sure what we're gonna get into. We'll just flow. That's always our conversations, anyway.
Yes. One of the things I've been thinking about recently is forgiveness. So because it's a two-way street, I believe forgiveness. You need forgiveness as much as you should forgive, right?
Yeah.
And as a person who believes in God and all of that, I mean, all of us, we know the Our Father prayer, God to forgive us our trespasses.
We're answering that question, Gaila, from the...
Which one?
Episode 9. Your question to the audience?
Yeah, what is forgiveness to you? Yeah, so I'm sure we all know Our Father, forgive us our trespasses, and then there's sightings from Jesus to say that if you do not forgive, God will also not forgive you.
Yeah.
So what is forgiveness to you? Like, what does it mean? How does it work?
For me, forgiveness, just letting it go. Just learning how to let it go. What it means to me.
Yeah, like how do you know that you've forgiven?
When I don't care, when it doesn't affect me anymore. Whether I see the person, whether I don't, it doesn't alter the way I move through life, emotionally and physically and mentally. Once I've forgiven you, it's just basically I've let it go completely. Never forget, because obviously also in that as well, you do learn some lessons of people betraying you or whatever it is that they did to you. In that sense, do not forget. I'm not saying to the person, but also to the person actually, because you need to remember what that person did, especially if it was very deep. You know, you need to understand, okay, they're human too. Let's forgive them, but then also just move on from that situation. I think forgiveness for me is just letting it go and finding peace with that.
I hear you. I just feel like the forgetting part, is it so that it doesn't repeat itself, or?
No, just forget about it.
I mean, the don't forget. I usually said don't forget what had happened.
Don't forget what the person did to you. One, because that thing can be a lesson, so learn from it. Don't forget in that sense, but also don't forget it because of the person who did that to you. Do not allow the same people to come in your space. Don't forget who they actually did something horrible to you. And
I feel like I forget. Yeah, but like, for example, if someone hurt me now and then I let them go, in the moment and in the situation, I know why. But then down the line, I forget, and then I'll just remember, I used to be close to this person, but I don't really remember what they did.
But you remember, that they
how
hurt
they made me feel.
Yeah, and that's important.
That's what I remember, like how you made me feel, but not necessarily what happened.
Yeah, you don't have to remember what happened. You can remember, there's that flashback of like, oh, this person did something. You don't have to remember. Yeah, there's full details of things people have done to me, and I do not really, if you had to ask me to recollect the memories, I wouldn't be able to. But guys, was one try like I'm never letting that. You're never coming back in my space.
And what about when you need forgiveness? How do you go about that?
Yes, that's when it's a bit more lighter. If someone, as I said, people are human beings. There's two ways. If someone did something very traumatic and deep, absolutely not. But if someone genuinely has made a mistake, that's why I always say I don't abandon people. And I think sometimes I do give people more chances than they should have, especially if they sincerely apologize. For me, apology goes very far. If we sit down and you explain with AYANDA, listen, I'm sorry for 1, 2, and 3. I did it because of 1, 2, and 3. I will from there, and then I will literally forget it. We are back in clean slates. I don't know how I do that, but if it's not that deep for me and there was a misunderstanding, easily forgiven.
Okay, I hear you. I feel like, okay, what if when like you maybe did something wrong to a person and you genuinely apologize, but they keep bringing it up? How does that like go into how, because I believe that forgiveness does not equal reconciliation, or it shouldn't.
I hope,
just because someone apologized doesn't mean now you guys must get back together or fix things and go back to the way things used to be.
I hope someone gives me the grace I give other people. Because generally, so I do take accountability for the things that I do. And I am someone who, when I do apologize, there will be change immediately.
Yes.
I'm not someone who, even if I don't necessarily like you as a person, or I don't believe in your views or any, and we're clashing in that aspect, my actions will change very immediately. That's why I always say I like people around me who can tell me if I'm doing something wrong, because I'm not perfect. But trust me, I will apologize, and then I will ask following questions if I'm not able to understand where you're coming from, and ask for examples if you do remember. But yeah, I would hope people give me the same grace, and then.
So it's about reciprocity. Yeah, because I feel like in a lot of cases, and an example that we've used before was the thing of being cheated on, and then you choose to stay. And then you can't move on because that wound is still there and all of that. And you're still reminding this person and stuff. And it's like you're trying to hold them accountable. But you said you forgave them. You said you want to still be with them even though they did that to you. So do you think it's justifiable for the cheater to say, no, but like, don't bring it up anymore. I apologize. And you said you forgave me. Let's move on.
Obviously not. Obviously not. I've also gone through that where I tried to forgive a cheater. I think that's when it's extreme. Now that I've grown and I have gone through that once, I know in my heart I can never forgive something like that. But yeah, for me, if you betray me
that far,
it's done.
That's what I'm saying. When you forgive, you let.
So we won't have conversations of you asking why is it being brought up. But as we said, as the way that we also communicate, I think you also communicate like that. I mentioned things three times to someone. I tell you the first time, hey, this is bothering me. Say it very lightly, direct. Second time, maybe let me go a little deeper. Let me fully explain why this is bothering me, whether that's me bringing up my past, my triggers, my traumas, whether that's me explaining why this really does affect me and I need you to change. Third time, when I explain, at that point. The fourth time you do it, I'm not around to witness whatever it is.
Exactly. So let me use a practical example now. Let's say me and you are friends, and then I make a mistake. And then, I come back to you, I humble myself, I'm like, AYANDA, I'm sorry. And I take full accountability for my actions. I apologize. And, we have that conversation and we let it pass. And then every time we have a fight that brings up something relating to that problem that we had, you are bringing it up now. It's like that time when
they're not communicated again, just as those steps I said.
Even if it's not me repeating the same thing, but let's say, for example, we're fighting about going somewhere. And then when we go to that place, I do something that offends you as my friend. And then I apologize afterwards. No. And then every time when you're bringing it up, you're using it against me.
No, I wouldn't bring it up. I'm not someone who would bring
I'm just saying, if someone does that, they always bring up all the mistakes that you apologize for and took accountability for. Do you then have a right to say, I thought we talked about this and we moved on from it? Please don't bring it up to me anymore.
It depends what it is.
Okay.
If it's extreme cases like cheating, of course, then you have to allow the person to heal, and you'd have no.
Okay, but how far does that go? How long?
Until the person heals. You're the one who did wrong.
But
no, they're trying to obviously still fix the relationship for whatever reason. As I'm said, cheating is an example here, but it could be anything else. That means they just haven't healed. So you have to have the grace to also listen every time they bring it up. They triggered, they traumatized, you caused it. So you have to be there to listen to it and try have them navigate around whatever it is. So you shouldn't even be annoyed in the slightest. When your part to play is to listen and try help them navigate around that, because you caused it. And if anything, you should be happy that they still want to be in your life.
I feel like I could never allow. I'm not a cheater, but I feel like if I, for whatever reason, cheated on my partner and they tried to keep me, I wouldn't let them, because Nyazuguti, angeke sabe the same, angeke sabe free in the relationship.
I think cheating is extreme.
Yeah, it's extreme. But I'm just saying anything light, to say, if someone keeps bringing up your mistakes that you guys fixed according to you, like you thought that I also feel like it comes hand in hand with emotional intelligence, because if you're saying you forgave, let it go. Like you said, forgiving is letting things go. You don't keep reminding people of their past, of their mistakes. That's why I feel like grace is so important. I was thinking the other day, we literally need grace every single day.
You do.
Because we flop. Like we make mistakes. You need to pick yourself back up. And, people who condemn you, I feel like, for me, it's a cut-off situation. Family, anybody. I feel like if someone keeps on condemning. For example, I had a situation where a few years ago I made a mistake in my family, and it affected the whole family. Because like I was at that point where I was just like, I don't care anymore. And I was at school and I was just doing my own thing. And then when I came home for recess, on the phone you can mice, but when you come home now, you have to face the music. But even before that, I been communicated for you, listen, I'm sorry, I know this and this and this, And then I went back to my family and immediately I didn't unpack anything. I sat down with everyone and I apologized in front of them. I was just like, I know what I did is MNISI as a family, but I'm really sorry. And I took accountability for it. And, I gave them time, like, they still angry at me, valid, But now it's like, okay, we're cool. And then every time when a subject relating to that comes up, they bring it up. So I came to a point where I told them, I was like, I don't appreciate that every time when something like this comes up, you bring up that thing. All of us have made mistakes. I took accountability. I apologized to the family. I thought we are fine. But now every time you are bringing this thing up, I ask for forgiveness. I don't want to keep reliving this thing because you said you forgave me. If you're saying, if you're acting like you didn't forgive me, but you said you did at the time. If you don't want to forgive me, it's okay. But don't because I've moved on. Because I feel like at some point the condemnation, it gets to you. Because that's not who I am anymore. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to be a better child. And my track record shows. For the fact that there's nothing now that you can reference to, you're always going back to that thing years ago. For me, it's degrading because I work every single day to be a good child. There's never been trouble that I brought to the home. But now every time you're bringing up that thing. So for me, I felt like at that point, I told them, I was like, Yazin, I don't appreciate that every time when something like this comes up, you bring back that thing that I apologize for, that you said you forgave me for. But still, I repeat. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I've moved on from it, And then they still pressed on it. I was like, Yazin, please don't ever talk to me again, respectfully, because we can't move forward. I just feel like at that point, we cannot move forward. You're still holding on to izinto zakudala.
I get your point.
You know what I mean?
Though,
Beyond a certain point, like there was no repetition. I can't. Yabona, if it was a recurring thing on my side, which I kept on doing it or I did it again, I didn't do it again. I apologized and I changed behavior because I feel like an apology is, and I'm sorry means I won't do it again, because then you see how it affected people. One thing about I'm a very willing person, especially with accountability and stuff. If you touch it wrong, I'll apologize. I'll take accountability. I'm that person. I feel like it's a blessing and a curse, especially in relationships, because now if you're angry at me as my partner, where are you going to put all that anger that you have towards me? I'm taking accountability. I'm fixing it now. And I'll make the room for you to still have that anger. But if we're saying we've moved on and we've forgiven, let's move on. Let's don't bring it up again, because it's degrading to me. Like, imagine now you've proven that I've passed this, I've become a better child. And then your parents are still reminding you,
I get that. I just don't. I don't think I've experienced that. Maybe I have. Obviously, it's a common issue, but I don't remember. I think it hasn't happened often. Where
I get you. I
have
think it's an experience
opinion on that.
So I just ended up telling them, like, don't talk to me anymore, because I also felt like there was also a lack of emotional intelligence. So I was just like,
no, I get how that could be frustrating.
So respectfully, I'll greet you and all of that, but don't talk to me anymore, because we say move, So that's just why, because you, as much as you forgive, you need I've also had to forgive, even without receiving an apology. So this same person who's hurt me but never apologized, I was able to come and apologize to you and you said you forgave me. I've forgiven you for things that you never even apologized for, but you're still going back to that thing, A1, that I did. You know what I mean?
That's so cut off at that point. Yeah.
That's why I feel like forgiveness it's open for interpretation based on who also you're dealing with, and like you said, the situation and how extreme it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, in as much as there's room for grace,
I guess
but
it depends.
Yeah, it's just something that I've been thinking about.
Or maybe I'll think
lately.
about it throughout the show, but nothing's popping up where I feel like someone kept bringing something up.
I mean, I even believe, Guti, with the cheating thing, beyond a certain point, like, let it go, bruh. You said you wanted to stay with this person. They cheated on you, yes, and you stayed. So beyond a certain point, let it go. Give yourself a timeline to say, yeah, this person must take accountability and apologize for something. Because I feel like even I'm sorry gets annoying at some point.
No, I don't think so.
So in my experience, when I was cheated on, I tried to stay with that person, right? And they were trying to court me again after the whole thing had happened. But like, it was always there inside of me, good man, this person cheated on me. And it will always come up.
Of course it will.
You know what I mean? And I felt like, Maga apologizer, because it keeps coming up. That apology would annoy me because you can't change it. So I had to come to a point where I just have to remove myself because I can't let this go. You know, you can forgive, but it doesn't mean you must stay.
Yeah,
that's true. What I believe.
I think cheating is a completely isolated example.
Because I'm sorry, like
with no action also.
Sorry annoys me, like, because saying sorry once and then I see the change. You know, but if it's something that I cannot let go, the more you apologize, the more I get angry because you didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with cheating, like you could have broken up with me.
Yeah.
You know, so beyond a certain point, based on the extremity of the situation, if that's a word, you can't fix it. You can't come back from it. But yeah, it's just something that I've been thinking about over the last couple of weeks, Jay, that I wanted to talk about and get your opinion on.
Yeah, I've never experienced someone bring it up constantly, or maybe I have. I just don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually if someone comes to me and apologize, I let it go. There was a situation that happened recently. I was sitting with one of my friends at work, and then someone, I guess from rumors or whatever it is, came up to us and said something very rude, and I called him out on it right there and then. I was like, you don't say that. Especially if there's other colleagues as well. One, the thing that you're saying is not true. You don't have facts about it. And 3, you're disrespecting us because you're saying it in front of everyone else. If these people leave and don't hear me not commend you, but reprimand you for what you just said, they would have all went their ways and carried that in their head. I was like, you don't do that. And then after some time, a day later, he came back. He's like, yo, I apologize. I'm really sorry for that. I whatever. He said the apology. Immediately forgave it. Because in that point, I was like, it takes a lot also. People don't apologize. I think it's very rare for someone to apologize, acknowledge what they did and explain why they did it. A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
And so for me, even, and it was a Zulu man, like Ubaba and Zulu, you know, came to me, why Toba, I apologized, you know. I'm not his age mate. I'm younger than him. So the fact that he even saw me in that light to humble himself for me was enough. Like his pride meant nothing to him in that moment. And so for me, it's usually when someone apologizes, especially if they explain it, I forget it. Like not forget, but like it's like you're human. Like okay, that's okay. And you explained why you said it. That's okay. As I said, unless it's malicious and some no, I'm probably never going to speak to you. There's no need for us to be exchanging and for you to be bringing it up anymore. Like there will be no contact. But if it's something light where was a misunderstanding or you said something or you're in a bad mood, it's... No,
I get you. I feel like that's admirable for you to just let it go on the spot. But at the same time, I get you. There's something so healing about someone coming to you and really humbling themselves and taking accountability that just, it releases something. And
I think I'd allow so many people back into my life if they apologized. Genuinely so. There's certain things where we didn't have to end something, but because you were disrespectful about it, and then nalapoge, you are arrogant, and this, then now it becomes a whole situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, but immediately when you acknowledge it, and then you come, Ayanda, listen, I probably handled that like shit. Like it was because of 1, 2, and 3. Immediately. There's no ifs and or buts.
So how does your heart resets immediately and clean slate?
I don't know. I just don't think about it like that. For genuinely in my head, I'm just like, they explained why. It makes sense. Unless which I will always see. If it's a fake apology. But
true.
Because even then, there was that girl who came to me and like we cool. I'm like, no, you're not. That is an apology I won't take. There's those type of things where I'm just like, absolutely not. You're not gonna come act like brand new with me. Like, no, I'm not accepting your part. But if you come to me and be like, hey, listen, like I fucked up. Like what I did was not on in the moment. It was because of 1, 2, and 3. Then I forget it. And forget like I have amnesia, but okay, that's okay. Because it happened with, sorry to bring up the lady who was also shooting the podcast for us when
the beginning.
When it all went to shit. That last time where I gave her that chance, we spoke about it. She got emotional about it. She explained why I've been going through 1, 2, and 3. This is why I haven't been showing up that way. I do like it was a serious conversation, and she genuinely apologized. And I was like, no, we even laughed about it. We're like, oh, it would be so nice if we got to episode 20. Like it would be such a celebration because we started from here. It was a genuine conversation, and she genuinely apologized for what she's done. And even we spoke about steps in order to improve and what can we change and all of these things. And so with me, even right then and then, I was like, okay, let's start back up. And then when it was time for her to show up, she didn't, and that's when I had to cut it off. Because there's no way we're going to have such a deep conversation, a genuine conversation like that.
Exactly.
And then you're going to act that way. That means now you're just disrespecting me.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then with triggers, do you get triggers when it comes to those things that people did even after they've apologized?
Of course.
How do you handle them?
It depends. It has to be that deep. Not a lot of things trigger me, but it has to be that deep. Usually when someone comes to me and apologizes, it's usually not that deep. It's not that serious. As I said, example again with that guy, it was not that deep. He said something, it was unnecessary for him to say it at the time. He came to apologize. Singi susile out of my head. It's not a trigger, but there's certain things where it would be friendship trauma. Now, obviously, after you've apologized, then yes, 1, you won't be in my life, and 2, of course, I'll carry that, and I'll have a bit of trust issues when it comes to friendships.
Okay, no, I get you. I get
what about you?
Yeah, with triggers, I just feel like that's where grace comes in. It's just like, no, but this person really did step up, and it didn't happen again. Because you do get triggered. I feel like triggers are misinterpreted though. Sometimes a trigger is something that just brings to light the things that you still need to work on. Because I saw this quote even the other day that said, if you remember it again, you need to forgive again. If it's that bad, just forgive again, especially if you wanted to. Because I also believe that forgiveness is for your peace as well. If things bother you that much, that an apology would fix the way that you feel about this person. Forgiveness is you. It's a you thing. That's why we say things like, we accept apologies. We forgive people even when they didn't apologize. Because it's for you. This thing, you're carrying it. It's heavy laden in your heart. And yaktisteba, you know what I mean? So that's where grace comes back, Uguti. They apologized. If they didn't apologize and you get those triggers, it just means that you need to let go for yourself. So like I said, it's a two-way thing. As much as you need forgiveness, you must give it. But ultimately, it's for you. It's for your own peace of mind and for your freedom. I just feel like forgiveness gives you so much freedom because it even creates indifference. To say, it is what it is. When you forgive people who are not even apologetic, it creates indifference in you, Guti. You're just going to rise above this thing, especially if it bothers you, like I said. But and
also just viewing people as human as well. Because you're not special.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I tell people like, that person who's mistreating you is still also God's child.
Exactly.
You know? So whether they're being evil to you or being harsh to you, nothing bad is gonna happen to them. Trust. God is also looking after them. And I think if you have that mindset to not want people to be punished or have karma, like, yeah, you're going to get karma. No, sometimes they'll live a beautiful life because there's a relationship they have with God, and God understands fully to why they might be acting like that. You know, you don't know what people go through every day.
Yeah.
So I think also having that in your head and being like, listen, I might not understand why they're treating me like this, but uNkulunkulu and you understand, you know, and that's when you also don't get envious of people mistreated you getting opportunities in life, because that's when people get confused, like, why is this person getting all of these things when they're so evil? You don't know. You don't know their journey. You don't know who they're praising to at the end of the day. So as well, you need to take that out of their head and not always be wishing evil on people who do evil against you. It's not gonna get you anywhere.
Exactly. You know? I feel like people feel like God is their uncle. Just because
and
you
don't
special
like this
and
person, it's isolated. No.
Exactly. Just because you don't like this person, they won't succeed. In fact, it's like they succeed even more when you don't like them, because you really don't know a person's private, secret relationship with God or how they pray. And because no matter what, I just feel like somehow we're all a villain in someone's story.
True.
Or whether you consider yourself to be a good person, there's someone out there who when I got fool, you know what I mean? So like I said, it gives you freedom to just forgive and let things go for yourself, you know, to carry on with. Even if you see that person succeeding and they did you dirty, you are indifferent.
And just stay neutral, man. I'm also just someone who's just like, especially when I break up with other people, I will always just say it. There's a saying that people say, oh, they missed out, oh, they had it good, they didn't, and I'm like, maybe they didn't
want you.
Maybe they didn't they probably didn't want you, but maybe I'm not the person for them. Maybe my communication style, maybe my emotions at the time didn't align with them, and maybe God at that point, or whatever you believe in, universe didn't align. We didn't align like that, and we wouldn't have grown together in a peaceful space. So even if someone treats you bad, you should just have that at the back of their head. I think the only thing you can wish for is, God, please remove this person in my life, because I do not want to deal with them. But to go to the extent of wishing people evil, opportunities being taken, that's a little too far. That's just unnecessary.
Yeah. That's true. In fact, you disturb your own peace.
Why even thinking about that?
Exactly.
Because I remember I was having this issue with this other lady, and my only prayer was just like, God, I don't want to deal with her. Please remove her from my life. I'm not saying, and even then, when God did remove, this actually happened where God did remove her from my life, but gave her an opportunity somewhere else. So one, her job wasn't taken away. She still can feed her family. I don't know if she is good or not. That's none of my business, but it's a thing of,
from you, again.
From me, because she's disturbing me and my peace. Can I not see her every day? The blessings that she gets, I will not wish her well. I wish her nothing. But I'm fine with that. I'm good. God can sort that out. It's none of my business.
I get you. Do you believe in soulmates and love of your lives and things like that? Like,
I think, I do.
Only in a romantic sense.
I do. I think especially because of the person that I am, I think there should be a specific person for me out there.
Yeah, especially because you mentioned alignment. So I feel like you meet your people when you're aligned, right?
Yeah.
So your soulmates can be your friends. Do you feel like your sisters are your soulmates?
Definitely. I think we were all brought into this lifetime at the exact moment as we were. It's just perfectly aligned. I think my sisters... I think the way it was also designed of us being like a year apart, as well as my sisters are my best friends. I've never needed anyone else. I think having friendships or anything outside of that is a bonus. But I think me being the type of person that I am, I was meant to have that closeness with those type of people, because now I feel like I don't have to act up. You know, when I'm around other people. I think if I didn't have my sisters, or I was the only child, I'd feel this need of friendships and not letting people go and holding. Because at the same time, when I end things with people and I block them, there's still that thing on the back of my head is I still have people that still love me and I can still ask advice from, that I can still talk to, that can still be in my life, you know. So I feel very lucky that I can show up in the world the way that I am. Because some people do think I'm a bit dramatic in the way that I show up, in terms of just, if you wrong me, it's done. I'll be respectful, but it's how you also take it. Don't take it too far. And so I think with that, it's a thing of, I have people already. So it's not like or I'll feel some type of way. If I want to hang out, my sisters are there. If I want to talk to someone, if anything, I'd prefer my sisters because we've had literally the same childhood, so they understand me mentally as well. And my sisters as well are those type of people where mangi wrong mazong childhood I understand better man. Like lento yenzayo nope, because like and you need that. That's why I say with friendship it's a little tricky with me, because it takes a lot for your friend to get comfortable in order to tell you stuff that you do wrong. I don't think it's an immediate thing. You know, you need to grow that friendship in order for them to feel comfortable, and I already have that with my sisters. Unfortunately, they're not unfortunately, but fortunately, they are the first line of people I will communicate with when something happens. I think that's also why some friendships don't really work out, because I'm like, oh, I already have people.
I don't need you.
Not that I don't need you, but like, advice, and even then I have a lot of sisters, so it's a thing of I'm getting advice from this one, different personalities, different so opinions. I take my other sisters very go with the flow, so when I know I'm in a situation where I need that someone to just do it, just like it's your life, just live it. That's my sister. My other sister is very like, she analyzes, so mang dinga like and analyze to the situation of like, we're not 10, you're not 10. I'm options. And then I go to that sister, and sometimes I go to all of them where I'm just like, okay, I'll take that opinion, take this, take that. And so now when you're making friendships, it's also just like, that still has to grow. That still has to.
Already, No, I get you. I get you. You already have so many.
And plus, my sisters are people that I like. Surprising, because not a lot of siblings actually like each other. So my sisters are my friends. I always say that if we were actually not sisters, I think we'd actually be friends.
I really want to meet your sisters. They sound like such cool people and interesting.
My sisters are so nice. My sisters are so like, they're welcoming, like overly welcoming. Like I always tell people, like, don't ever worry. Like, but they quiet. They're quiet. They're more very much analyzing. Okay, let me not say quiet. They're different.
Okay.
My younger sister, she usually reads the room. Like, she'll try to analyze you. Are you someone I can open up to or not? And then eventually she'll get comfortable. Because I remember my younger sister came to visit me, and I used to stay in Four Ways. If you know Four Ways, shout out. At Black Tongue, it was a bar that we used to go to. So I was friends with the people in that area, the rich kids. And so my sister came to town, and literally quiet in the first few moments, and then she saw obviously it was a situation that she can trust. She was now lost out and about with a group of people, and she was just having her own time. Like once she gets comfortable, she goes very far. I think she's the most social one out of all of us. And then my one after me, like she'll try to be accommodative to someone. Like if we're all sitting, she'll be the one to ask you questions, like try to find out more about you. Uzama, my older one, she's pretty much like me, but advanced 2.0. Like she'll just sit there, she doesn't vibe with you. It's like, you'll probably think she hates you. She's more like, until you have something to prove.
Like a slow burner.
Slow burn, very much like, what are you about? Like, you know, but she's also very curious, very go with the flow, you know. So it's very different. And then obviously my older sisters, which they're much older. So we do hang out, but not as much as the ones that are here apart from me.
Okay, no. Man, I'm looking forward to meeting them.
Yeah, no, they'll definitely come out. My sister's coming to visit in 2 weeks.
That's around the time that we're gonna shoot again. So
she'll probably come by.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the one before me. Anele that asks a lot of questions, and she's in the conversation, and she's very curious, and so you'll meet her.
No, it's also nice how you know them and you know who to go to for what. Like you have the one who's gonna encourage, then the one who's gonna make you
when
think.
I'm panicking, I go to Uzam. Uzam is the one carefree. I remember there was a time where I was stuck somewhere and I needed to go. My parents were in town. And I was stuck somewhere, and I was in Pretoria or something, and I was stressing because should I come back? I don't feel like they're gonna want, like, it was a whole thing. And then my sister was like, "I boy, and live your life, have fun, be there, don't even worry about those people." She like calms down the situation immediately and very much go with the flow, live your life, don't worry about what people say. Why is it like so man thing a encouragement so wuti no, do you?
That sounds really nice.
Yeah.
No, I like that, man. That sounds really lovely. I feel like being one of two. I mean, I have other siblings, but we were never formally introduced. We met in a group chat in a corner. The connection didn't last, you know. My sister, like my mother's daughter, my mother and father's daughter, she's the only sister that I have, the only sibling that I have in close proximity. So with her, she's a protective sister. So she's the person I would go to if I really need like solutions and like I need the critical protection. Plus her career as well is also in that. She can protect me. That's like a one person. If I can end up in trouble now, I can text her.
She almost also protected me, and there was a situation.
I was just like,
there was a situation.
This is what my sister was like, no, this is what can be. You know what I mean? That, she's that person who can provide solutions and reasonably. She's not gonna nurse your feelings. Stuff. She's gonna ask you what was your role in it. She'll hold you accountable and things like that. So I like that. I can do that with her. But man, it would be nice to have more siblings like closer with you. Because I always wonder about my twin. Was I going to be like mask and then she's femme and then like she's like girly girl and like she's straight even. It's like
because you do find twins that are both like mask, which I find so
that
cool.
would have been cool. But then it would also be nice. Like either way, man. I think about me and my sister. We've even like talked about it in hypothetical matters. It's like, what if she was like a girly girl like my sister, and then I was just me, and then they would have their things in common, but still she's my twin, she's my person, so
she's my
you
person.
Know what I mean? Yeah, but it sounds really nice, the type of relationship that you have with all your sisters.
I'm lucky. I couldn't have asked for a better setup.
Because even on your TikTok, I'd see when you post them on your stories, and it's all of
once in a while
fonts different, different fonts of the same.
At some point, people actually thought we were quadruplets. Was it quadruplets?
Yeah,
the form.
Nyafan. I saw one time the picture is a bit blurry. Even when you were posting about kissing the one who doesn't like physical touch and stuff.
She's the social. My sister's a social butterfly.
Yeah,
you even like think because the other three, me and the other two, like I think we've struggled with friendships a lot. But with my other sister, like I don't know what's up with her. She flourishes, and we always speak about this with her. I'm like, how do you? And there's no secret sauce even, because I would always ask her, what's that thing? Because even the friends that she gets are so loyal to her and they go above and beyond. I remember there was one time where I took my sister out. She was in university in Durban, Westvid. And when we came back, her friends like washed her car. And I'm like, I've never experienced that. We have friends that go above and like and they're so loyal. Like, she has friendships since she's known since pre-K. Like she's at a function now, umemulo for one of her best friends, and they've known each other since primary school. Not even primary school, crash.
Damn.
And I'm like, damn, I don't have that.
People, like from back then.
I don't have that at all. She has this. When she walks into a room, you just instantly like her.
Charisma.
I don't know what and you can't say it's because of one twin, because we all grew up in the same household and we all grew up close to each other, so you can't. I think it's just a natural thing. I think you're born with it. Like you're born with that type of magnetism towards people, and she's not loud. She's very much. I got puppy there. You'll see her like you'll just like her from the get. You'll think like she's the coolest thing. Like she's just so cool, and we're all just like, oh, hi.
How do you do it?
But she's very social.
So after Abazalwe, who takes after which parent? in your opinion?
My father loves my younger sister, the last born. Like, that's his baby. I think parents always say they don't have favorites, but they do. Actually, I don't even think my parents care that it's out in the open. But, and I used to be my mother's favorite. It kind of changed at some point. I think my mother's very neutral with all of us, but I used to be closer to her. Oh yes, no, now it's the one that comes after me that's a little closer to my mother. I think they just relate on things better, and she opens up more to her than any of us. And yeah, they've opened about their relationship quite often. And my sister always says, oh, I wish you guys were as close as I was with her. You guys should. And I'm like, yeah, true, but sometimes I don't really have that many things in common. I think they just have things in common. And plus, currently she got a job where it's closer to home, so she stays at home. So yeah, they'll have chats and whatnot, and yeah, they're closer. So I think that's her season to shine with my mom. And then, but my father has always liked the younger
so
one.
when Ufu's one, are you more like your mom or your dad?
My mom.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely my mom. I hope one day somehow I could actually get my mom on the podcast. I don't think she'd ever agree. Maybe on like the 100th episode I'd convince her somehow.
Yeah.
But my mom, that woman has wisdom for days. But also it makes me kind of sad because I understand with great wisdom comes great suffering.
Yeah.
That means you've gone through so much in the world. My mom is very she's an observant woman. Like when I usually try to bring my friends or anyone close to me to my mom, because immediately when she says, this one, I listen immediately, because I made the mistake of not listening in the past, and it happens exactly as she says it does. I take after my mother. She's not very social. She's not really out there. She will speak her mind when I'm exactly like my mom, exactly the same. Doesn't take nonsense. And she's okay. One thing that I think I'm different from her is she's funny. Like my mom, everyone will be on the floor laughing. Like my mom is so funny, like to the point where strangers are like my mom. Angaza where she gets that humor. But they also always say, if you are a funny person, it's because a lot of dark things have happened.
Dark humor and things like that. So
yeah, she's a very, very funny woman. She can hold a conversation, people together. But yeah, I think that's the only thing. The funny side. But personality wise, I think we're exactly the same. Yeah. And you, who do you think you take after?
I don't know. I don't think, I mean, I have certain traits from my mother. I feel like being smart, I got it. My mom was a brilliant woman. Like her memory was impeccable. Like, I would be shocked, you know. Funny. I think I also get it from my mom. My mom was really funny. I don't know much about my dad, man. Like my dad passed away before I could get to know him as a person. So I don't know. I don't know who. I feel like I'm an original. I don't feel like I'm like anybody. Because even in my family, like I'm not like anybody in my family.
Yeah.
There are some traits that I got from my mother. Like I have a bit of a lisp and a bit of a stutter because of my mother. Got that from my mother. Because I'm so aware of it, I can, you know, but when the more time you spend with me and the more time I speak, champies. And, you know, I was even watching some of my videos and like they say champies and I was like,
it came out.
I feel like the more I'm talking, iso champies and so and the older I'm getting, because it wasn't as, you know, so now I have this thing of I stop myself. I think the only time it would show was on video calls, because I'm just yapping. But I get a stutter and a lisp from my mother, very slight and very controlled because of my self-awareness. And then being funny also, I think I get it from my mom. My mom was really funny. Being smart. I don't know about my dad, honestly. I don't know who I take off. Maybe I'm just like, but I know I look like him. There are days though where I look like my mom, but I look like my oldest sister. Like me and her son, we look alike.
This oldest your sister?
No, not Ntogo's.
Oh, I was about to say you look nothing like your sister.
I don't look. She looks exactly like my mother.
Yeah, you look nothing like your sister. The older she's getting,
which is crazy. After my mom died, my mom had dimples, like really deep ones. After she passed on, I got one dimple. And And then my sister got the other one.
No, she passed it on.
Yeah, because we've always like, Mama, why not panga tina wa timbo? And then the older my sister is getting, my sister now has 2 dimples. So I'm like, oh, my second one is coming.
Initiation.
Yeah, we got dimples from her. After she passed, literally after a few weeks, months after she passed on, the dimples started to pop. Like, you know?
Her saying like, this is something you can have from me.
Yeah. And then I look exactly like, well, not exactly, but very similar to my dad's firstborn daughter and her son. Those are the people that are, and then another sister of mine in movie, like, I have a lot of siblings. I think I look like 2 of my sisters and then my one sister's son. But my traits, I don't think I am like anybody in my family. Yeah, that's why I feel like I don't relate to any of them because we're not alike. There was my mom's sister, her and I were close when I was growing up. But she just switched up and then I just had to distance myself from her. But she was the only person I could relate to. Like, Bingumbi's scheme, like, we were really close.
Scheme Sam.
Yeah, we were really close, like, really, really close, like, bestie close, you know. She was the person I would talk to even when I couldn't talk to my mom.
What happened? Or she just switched up very?
Yeah,
or you kind of know why?
I don't know, it was just a switch, man. Especially after my mother passed on. I feel like after your parents pass away, there's one of 2 things that happens. Either your family really steps up and shows up for you, or they totally neglect you. And for me, it was the latter. Like, they totally neglected. And it's just like, you just had to keep going, you know?
Yeah.
So with her, we were really close growing up. Like, I remember even like when the switches were happening, I was so shocked. Like, I couldn't believe it, you know? I was like, but we were so close, like, you know? So now we don't even talk because I was just like, I'm going to distance myself from you. Like, because what happened, you know? There were times where, like I said, there was a time where I did something very selfish against my family and I apologized, but she still holds it against me and things like that. So I'm just like, well, you've also done things and not to justify what I did, but like, come on. Where's the grace in the family, you know? But yeah, she was the only person I was close to in my family. But we don't even talk anymore. Yeah. So I don't think I'm like anyone.
That's case.
But I also believe in soulmates and stuff. It's just that I feel like sometimes the painful thing about that is that it doesn't stay. You know? It doesn't stay. And the grace of letting it go is what hurts the most. The grief, rather. That's what's painful, and it can close you off if you're not like taking what you're supposed to be taking and, you know, keeping it and holding it fully while it's still yours. I feel like the notion of there should have been more time, or it should have been, Abo should have been, coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. They are the downfall of us as people in order to let things be. I feel like also the wanting of control, because I feel like when you want to hold on to things, even when you're supposed to let them go, you want to be in control, and we're not. We're not in control of anything. I always tell people that we didn't give ourselves life, so how can we then want to control our lives? There are things you can control, like your career and things like that, but certain things are beyond your control. And that's why even when you were saying earlier that you're praying to God to remove it from, you know, because we need to have that mentality to just let things be removed from us, because the hurt of things lies in our need to want to control them. So that's, I think for me, that's the achy part about believing in soulmates and the love of your life. Because I believe that it comes in different forms, in different family. For me, Uli said, my baby cousin, like, I've always wanted a younger brother. You know, I had one, Utepang, they thought that he was my brother because when he was born, people even thought he's my mother's son. I used to ask my mother for a younger brother. My mother was like, no, she's not going to have another kid. So my uncle had a son. And then was like, okay, I have a younger brother. He was staying with us. Then they took him away to live with his grandparents. So I lost my brother. You know, he wasn't with us full time. So when Liseti was born, like, it healed something inside of me. You know, even being able to see him. And he also was born like about a year after my grandmother had passed on, like, suddenly. So Liseti was like the gift in our family because we were in like deep grief. My grandmother passed on in an accident, so we didn't expect it. It just came out of nowhere. one day we just got a call, good day, you know. So when Liseri was born, it really healed a lot of, especially me, let me just speak for myself. It healed so much in me. Even spending time with him, like Liseri is that person, because I'm always by myself at home. So I'll just be like, I'm sad. Please come give me a hug. And he'll come and he'll squeeze. Like he heals so much in me, even hearing him speak, spending time with him, you know. So I believe that in a form or another, he is one of my soulmates.
Yeah.
Things like that. So I'm looking forward to experiencing that fully in all capacities in every season of my life to find my people, you know. But yeah. That's
yeah. All right. Yeah, that was deep. I was just listening. I don't even really have questions. That's so deep. And yeah, that is true. Yeah, maybe he was brought into this life just to heal certain things from you.
absolutely.
Or just to, you know, for you to just have courage to carry on, you know. Because you need that anchor sometimes in life. Yeah.
What do you think it takes to surrender to God? Like, do you feel, because I was talking to a guy yesterday and we were saying that we treat prayer like it's like an emergency contact at the end when you've tried everything and then it's chai, you know. So I was like, prayer is literally supposed to be something that we do constantly.
Yeah.
But like, in order to let things be and to surrender and to, you know, lose control. It's a
lot.
How does it come about?
It comes from struggle. To see God working in your life, you actually have to be going through shit. You have to be going through a lot of things. Because that's when then you see Uguti, oh, he shows up. Even if I'm not worthy of him showing up. He still does. And even then he goes to the extent of showing up in ways where you didn't even think that you needed showing up in certain areas. You need those examples in your life. That's why I'm saying with God, it's a personal relationship.
True.
I never judge anyone for having their own beliefs, but I have the beliefs that I have because it's just been proven to me multiple times. And things in my life have happened where I was like, I didn't even see that, but like it worked out that way because, for example, I'm going to briefly share a story. I need it. So do I want to share this? It's a bit too deep. Okay, I'll move on to another one. For example, there's something that happened to me last year. I shared this with you with the whole moving thing and whatnot. And when I first moved into my new apartment, it was just a lot financially. And so I remember I needed to get all my furniture from KZN to Joburg, right? And so at that time, obviously, I was getting into a new place. I had to pay the rent and the deposit, and moving furniture, I was going to have to move everything. It was going to be a lot financially. And so I remember at that time, I was sitting at the office at work, and I would always have earphones on, you know, listening to a podcast or something. And I remember that day, my earphones just, for some reason, they just stopped working, but they had like a burnt mark on it. I was so confused because I'm like, what could have burnt from my trip coming to work to here? What did I touch because they were in my bag? And so that day, obviously, I didn't have my earphones on. And so as I'm sitting there at my desk, I hear a conversation my boss is having downstairs. And he's saying, Uguti, he needs to take something to the exact hometown I stay at. Right. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, if he's taking something there, I'm sure the truck is going to come back empty. So I'm like, let me actually go ask him quickly if these guys can actually take my stuff, you know. I go speak to him and he's like, yeah, of course. It was very easy, very direct. He was like, yeah, of course, just ask the guys if they could help you pick up the things from that side. Called the guys. He's like, yeah, absolutely no problem. Literally, those guys went there night after, came back with all my furniture. I didn't pay a cent. Obviously, cookie could drink it, but you know, it's things like that where I'm just like, I just say a quick prayer. I don't think I even prayed for that. I think God himself just saw being stressed around. Because at that time it was a thing of I'd have to buy a new bed, I'd have to buy this, I'd have to, because like financially moving yonke leon was just it just didn't make sense to me. And so even it's small things like that where I'm just like,
God shows up.
He was going exactly where I am from. And the town that I'm from is very small. There's no way, what was he doing there? You know? And for me to hear that conversation from like it just happened. Things like that happen to me, and I'm just, there's no way I can't, even if I wanted to, there's just, I don't have the options to not, because things like that go just aligned like that so weirdly, and I'm like, I can't even question it. You know, so for me it's just a relationship. If you don't have it, I'm not saying go seek it, you just don't have it, that's a you thing. But yeah, surrendering to God actually takes a lot of trauma situations, because that's when he has to show up. Because he can show up when you are happy and joyful, but I think you really see him when you truly don't have anything down. When you're down and you're just like, what the hell? And then he says, no man, I'll give you this, you don't even have to pay for a penny, you know, comes in the most randomest way. No,
I get you.
And for you?
The same. I feel like that's where we see the most, because it's also out of, for lack of a better word, desperation. It's like, now on a plan. So that's when your eyes are open, you know, because I feel like everything is a miracle, man. You wake up in the morning, you're safe on the road when you're driving. But when you're really in the thick of it, that's where you see clearly. So I agree with you, Guti. Sometimes it takes that downfall or that trauma, even for small changes in yourself, like when you feel hopeless and things like that. But I agree with you, Guti. That's when we see the most. That's when our eyes are really open.
Fortunately and unfortunately. But it has to happen. Unfortunately, it does have to happen multiple times. Because I think the first time it happens, you're just like, oh, it was probably like coincidence. But then it starts happening, start getting into deeper situations, harder situations, and they still come through. Now you're just like, I have no options not to. Who is this person?
Exactly.
Like, you know, and we're not all special. I think it's just the relationship pelalap. Because sometimes with me, like I'll even just, because we, as you said, we're not perfect. So in Nami, you know, when you just have an ill heart for someone, obviously when they do you wrong, you're just like, and even then I'm just like, I hate that feeling, and I'm like, please take it away. Either take this person away, because if they're around me constantly, I'm also going to be projecting on like negativity, jealousy, this, that, you know, and it will rile me up. So please just take them away, you know. And so it's a relationship. Even when I go to work, NJ, I just speak just normal conversations. This is what I'm doing for the day. Or if you see a sign, thank you for the sign. But I think having a relationship with God also does. Is that controversial for us to be speaking about our religion?
I don't think it's religion. It's just a personal thing that you,
a personal relationship. I'm by no means advising people to get into Christianity. But it works for us, and we've seen it work multiple times. And the peace that it comes with it as well, I think people don't speak a lot about. Even if I'm in a dark situation, when I sit down with myself, I'm like, oh, I'm peaceful. I don't know how to even explain that. Like, I just feel at peace. Even though my head is like spinning, like there's still that thing of like, oh, there's someone else sorting that out. And they will sort it out because they've done it before. So why would they not do it now? You know? But sometimes I'm like, sometimes it gets a bit frustrating, because it's like, why am I here? Like, for example, for the job that I'm at, I think, did we speak about it the last episode, the bullying?
Briefly, you said you didn't want to
briefly, like, I've asked God multiple times, why am I still here? Like, what is happening? You know? And I see the reasons, but at some point also I'm just like, I just don't understand. And if there's an understanding from your side, okay, I'll take it like a champ and try to deal with the situation how it is. But I don't keep, and if there's nothing that's here for me. But the funny thing is, there's people going. There's people going outside of my work, like outside of my life. So that's when I started to realize, Guti, he actually wants me here, but I still don't understand why, because the people that were negatively influencing me actually did leave, you know, one by one. They're leaving. So I'm like, okay, so I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But like, I still don't understand why, you know.
No, you'll get those answers. For the fact that you've seen the process,
of like,
it's okay.
I don't think I need to understand any further. So that helps.
Yeah. Do you think we should ask the audience if they think our podcast is controversial?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys think that On the Couch is a controversial podcast? Please let us know in the comment section.
Yeah.
And tell us the reasons why you think that it is.
Yeah, that will be the next question.
What conversation we had, or that was had even on the couch, that made you guys think that it was controversial. Just be specific so that we know, and let us know your thoughts.
Because definitely the clips will get out of hand. Obviously, if you clip something and it's like
a certain
30 seconds,
exactly.
Of course it won't sound right. But when you watch the episode, it's like, oh, she explained why. This is where she's coming from.
Yeah, I feel like also, just like I said, add context about why you're saying it's controversial. Watch the whole episode and write down your thoughts so that we can address it in its fullness, not half-half. Don't go on TikTok and you see a tape and then you come and comment on the YouTube video. Just let us know based on whole episode. So this was controversial because of 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll talk about that.
And address it specifically.
Yeah. That's it from me.
That's it for me too. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll see you guys again on episode 11.
Yes, episode 10. We must go celebrate. Must go take a shot.
Yes, actually, today we will.
Yeah.
We should.
But thank you guys. We'll see you on the next one.